In our busy world, everything moves fast. People rush from one task to another, from one message to the next. Many of us wake up and reach for our phones before we even take a breath. We are connected to everything, but sometimes we feel disconnected from ourselves. In this kind of world, daily rituals can be small islands of peace. A ritual is not just a habit. A habit is something we do without thinking. But a ritual is different. It is something we do with care, with purpose, and often with a sense of respect. For example, drinking a cup of tea in the morning can be a ritual. Not just drinking it quickly while checking emails, but really sitting down, feeling the warmth of the cup, smelling the steam, tasting each sip. This small act, when done with full attention, becomes something sacred. Rituals help us return to the present. They remind us of what is important. In my temple, we light incense each morning. We bow, we chant. These actions are not big. They are not loud, but they shape the heart over time. They make space for silence, for listening. You do not need to live in a temple to create rituals. You can make them in your home, in your daily life. Maybe you light a candle before dinner, or fold your clothes with care, or pause for a moment before entering your home. These are simple things, but they can carry deep meaning. The power of ritual is quiet. It does not shout. It does not need attention. But slowly, it changes the way we live. It teaches us to move more gently, to see more clearly, and to live with more respect for ourselves, for others, and for the world around us. When we bring ritual into daily life, we are not escaping the modern world. We are learning how to live in it more fully. Not by doing more, but by doing a few things with great care. Long ago, life moved with the seasons. People watched the sky, the moon, the changes in nature. There was a rhythm to everything: planting, harvesting, resting. These rhythms shaped daily life. They gave people a sense of order, of balance, of belonging to something larger. Today, we live by clocks and screens. We wake up not with the sun, but with an alarm. We eat quickly, work under pressure, and scroll through endless information. It can feel like we are always chasing time, always behind. But the ancient rhythms are still there, under the surface. The sun still rises and sets. The moon still grows and fades. Our bodies, too, remember a deeper rhythm. We feel tired in the evening, awake with the morning light. We breathe in, we breathe out. This natural rhythm is part of us, even if we forget. When we create rituals, we begin to reconnect with those older patterns. Maybe we open the window in the morning to feel the air. Maybe we take time to notice how the light changes through the day. These actions help us return to a more human pace. In the temple, we ring a bell to mark the hours. It is a soft sound, but it calls everyone back to the present. It tells us, this moment matters. You can find your own bells. They don't need to make sound. A deep breath before opening your laptop. A pause before speaking. These are ways to return to rhythm. Many people feel tired in modern life, not just in the body, but in the spirit. Too much noise, too many choices, not enough time. Rituals can help. They do not fix everything, but they create small places of calm. They remind us that life is not a race, but a path. A path walked step by step, moment by moment. Even in a modern world, we can walk with the old rhythm, not by turning away from technology, but by using it more wisely. Not by doing less, but by being more present in what we do. The rhythm is still here. We only need to listen. Many people think sacred things only belong in temples, churches, or holy places. They imagine incense, gold statues, or ancient texts. But sacredness is not about a place or an object. It is a way of seeing. It is a way of being. In truth, the sacred lives in the ordinary. It is in the sound of the wind through the trees. It is in the way a child laughs. It is in the smell of fresh rice cooking, or the quiet hum of evening. These are not special events. They happen every day. And yet, when we truly notice them, they become something more. In my own life, I find the sacred in small tasks. Sweeping the floor, washing the bowl, walking to the temple gate at sunrise. These are not exciting things, but when I do them with full attention and a calm heart, they feel full of meaning. The act itself becomes a kind of prayer. You don't need a new life to feel sacredness. You don't need to travel far. You only need to slow down a little. Pay attention. When you pour a glass of water, feel the weight of the cup. Watch the way the light dances on the surface. When you speak with someone, look into their eyes. Really listen. These are sacred acts. Modern life often tells us to chase big goals, big dreams. But the beauty of life is not only in big things. It is also in the quiet moments, the simple actions, the things we often forget to see. When we learn to see the ordinary as sacred, something inside us changes. We become softer, more grateful, more present. Life begins to feel rich, even when it is simple, even when it is quiet. This way of seeing is not just an idea, it is a practice. It grows each time we choose to slow down and notice. Each time we treat a small task with care. Each time we greet the morning with respect. In this way, the sacred is always near. It waits in every corner of daily life. We only need to open our eyes and our hearts. Sometimes our minds become full, too many thoughts, too many worries. We try to think our way through everything. But the mind can become tired. It jumps from past to future, from plan to problem. In those times, we may feel lost or disconnected. But the body is different. The body lives only in the present. It does not think in words. It feels, it remembers, it responds. While the mind may forget how to feel calm, the body remembers. In traditional temple life, many rituals involve the body. Bowing, walking slowly, standing still, lighting incense. These are not mental tasks. They are actions, movements. The body learns them deeply through repetition and care. When a person bows many times each day, something begins to change, not just in the body, but in the heart. The movement teaches humility, respect, and grounding. Even when the mind is busy, the body brings us back to center. In your daily life, you can also find these moments. Brushing your hair slowly, placing your shoes neatly, taking time to stand and stretch after sitting for a long time. These are not big things, but when done with care, they become a kind of ritual. They remind the body, I am here, this moment matters. Often people try to solve spiritual questions with the mind alone. But true understanding comes through experience, through feeling, through living. When you repeat gentle, respectful actions each day, they shape your inner world. The body holds more wisdom than we know. It knows how to rest, how to breathe, how to rise again after falling. If we listen closely, it can guide us when the mind becomes noisy or confused. Some days, words may not help. Thoughts may not bring peace. But simple acts, like holding a warm cup, walking barefoot on grass, or sitting with your hands folded, can speak more deeply than any idea. To return to ritual is to return to the body, to what is simple, grounded, and real. It is not about performance. It is about presence. Let your body guide you. Let it teach you how to be fully here. Life is always changing. Seasons shift, people come and go, our bodies grow older. Sometimes the change is small and gentle. Other times, it comes like a storm, fast, loud, and difficult to control. In those moments, we often feel unsteady, unsure of what to hold on to. This is where rituals become powerful. A ritual is something steady, something we return to again and again. Like an anchor in the sea, it holds us in place while the waves of life move around us. It doesn't stop the storm, but it keeps us from drifting too far. In the temple, we follow the same daily routine no matter what is happening outside. We wake early, we bow, we clean, we chant. On days of joy, we follow the same pattern. On days of sorrow, we do the same. This simple rhythm supports us. It gives our heart something solid to stand on. You can create your own anchor rituals. They don't need to be complex. Maybe you light a small candle each morning, even when life feels chaotic. Maybe you take 5 slow breaths before sleep, no matter how busy the day was. These small acts tell the heart, there is still peace here. There is still something I can trust. Change is a natural part of life. We cannot stop it, but we can learn how to move through it with grace. Rituals help us do that. They give us a sense of control, not over the world, but over how we respond to it. During hard times, many people forget what grounds them. They stop doing the things that once brought comfort. But this is when rituals matter most. They remind us who we are. They give shape to days that feel formless. They help us stay connected to something deeper, even when the surface of life is full of change. You don't need to feel peaceful to practice a ritual. You just need to show up. Let the act itself carry you. Let the rhythm do its quiet work. In time, the heart will follow. Even when everything around you changes, a simple ritual can whisper, "You are still here. You are still whole." In modern life, we are often surrounded by noise, not just sound, but also information, opinions, and endless things to do. Every moment is filled with something. There is little time to pause, to breathe, to ask ourselves simple questions. How am I? What am I carrying today? What do I truly need? Rituals can create space for reflection. They are not just actions. They are invitations to stop and turn inward. When we repeat a quiet act with care, it opens a doorway. Not outside, but inside. In the temple, we have time each day to sit in silence. But silence does not always mean sitting still. It can come through sweeping the floor, arranging flowers, or even walking slowly through a garden. These gentle rituals give the mind a place to rest and begin to listen. You can create such spaces in your own life. Maybe you spend 5 minutes each day in the same chair, just looking out the window. Maybe you take time to slowly wash your hands, noticing the warmth of the water, the movement of your fingers. These small acts allow your thoughts to soften. In this softening, reflection naturally begins. You may remember something you forgot. You may notice an emotion that was hidden beneath the surface. You may hear a quiet voice inside you, one that is often drowned out by the world's noise. Reflection is not about judging yourself. It is about meeting yourself with honesty and kindness. It is like holding up a mirror, not to criticize, but to understand. Rituals help you do this gently, without pressure. Over time, these small moments of reflection can guide your choices. They can help you see more clearly what matters and what can be let go. They make space for truth to arise, not from outside advice, but from your own quiet knowing. In a world that moves so fast, creating space is a radical act. It says, I choose to listen. I choose to care. Rituals are one way to make this space. They are not a luxury. They are a way to return to yourself again and again. And in that return, life begins to feel more grounded, more real, more true. Many people today feel they are always busy, always doing something, but still not fully living. Days pass quickly, tasks are completed, but there is often a quiet feeling of emptiness, like something is missing. One reason may be this: we do many things without truly being there. Our hands move, our mouths speak, but our attention is somewhere else. The body is present, but the heart is absent. In such a state, even a full day can feel hollow. But when we bring intention to what we do, even the smallest act becomes meaningful. This is where ritual and intentional living meet. They teach us not just to act, but to act with presence, with care, with purpose. For example, when we prepare food, we can rush through it, or we can turn it into a moment of respect for the ingredients, for the people who will eat, for the hands that cook. When we walk, we can do it with attention to each step, not because we are in a hurry, but because each step is life itself. Intentional living is not about adding more to your schedule. It is about changing how you meet what is already there. You don't need new tools or special knowledge. You only need to bring your full self into simple actions. At the temple, we often say, one thing at a time, with the whole heart. This is a simple teaching, but very deep. When you pour tea, just pour tea. When you speak, just speak. When you listen, just listen. This way of living brings clarity. It brings peace. Over time, it changes your relationship with the world. Things feel less heavy, less rushed. You begin to see beauty in places you once ignored. You feel more connected, not just to others, but to yourself. There is wisdom in doing small things well. You may not change the whole world by folding your laundry with care, but you may change your own world, your mood, your thoughts, your sense of balance. And when your inner world is in balance, you move through life more gently. You become a source of calm in a noisy world, not by force, but by presence, not by trying to be perfect, but by being sincere. This is the quiet strength of intentional living. Simple acts, whole heart, real life. At the heart of everything we've spoken about, rituals, rhythm, presence, intention, is something very simple: returning. Returning to what matters. Returning to yourself. Returning to a way of living that feels whole, not rushed. Gentle, not forced. Modern life often pulls us away from this. It tells us to keep moving, keep achieving, keep proving. But deep inside, many of us long for stillness. Not the stillness of doing nothing, but the stillness of being truly present with what is. Rituals are one way to return. They are like small doors that lead us back to our center. They don't need to be perfect. They don't need to impress anyone. They simply need to be real, honest, quiet. As you move forward, perhaps one small ritual stays with you: lighting a candle, folding your hands before a meal, taking a few slow breaths before you begin your day. These little acts are not just for peace. They are for remembering who you are. Even in a busy world, you can live gently. You can live with care. You can live close to what matters most. This is not something far away. It is already here, waiting in the ordinary moments. And to those of you who have listened, watched, and spent this time with me, I offer my deep thanks. Your presence is felt. Your openness is appreciated. When you choose to support this channel through liking the video, subscribing, sharing your thoughts in the comments, or offering a super thanks, it means more than words can say. It helps this quiet space continue to grow, and for that, I am truly grateful. May your days be simple. May your steps be steady. And may you always find your way back to what truly matters. Thank you, and please take good care of yourself.